Hello guys, welcome to our ESG reports. And today, me and Jason, our new friend, are gonna mainly targeting about China's ESG development and why the country is putting more emphasis on this kind of metric. And we all know that in recent years, a series of black swan events involving companies have continuously caught the public's attention, from a certain car manufacturer's emission cheating to a coffee company's financial fraud, and even a biotech company's vaccine scandal. This kind of events just often go beyond their financial misconduct and involves issues related to the environment, society, and corporate governance. So those traditional financial evaluation models are so inadequate to assess companies' overall risk and sustainability. And this is where the ESG concept comes into play, as it primarily focuses on measuring a company's sustainable development, addressing the elimination of solely financial assessments.
Indeed, the ESG concept has gained significant traction in recent years, with an increasing impact on companies. ESG principles initially stemmed from the ideas of social responsibility and were formally introduced by the United Nations Principles for Responsible Investment, which is the UNPRI. It serves as a crucial indicator for evaluating a company's sustainable development. ESG evaluation takes into account a company's performance in terms of environmental responsibility, social impact, and governance, offering a comprehensive view for investors and stakeholders. To understand China's ESG policy, it is essential to comprehend the development of history, characteristics, and trends.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, China's development of ESG policy can be tracked back quite some time, like 20 years ago, because in September 2003, the Chinese National Environmental Protection Agency have issued a notice on corporate environmental information disclosure, and this notice just requires companies exceeding pollution limit to disclose relevant information about their environment. Subsequently, a series of policy documents were released, including the guidelines for social responsibility of listed companies by the Shenzhen Stock Exchange in September 2006. It encourages the disclosure of social responsibility related information by those listed companies. And the next year, in April, the National Environmental Protection Agency just issued another thing about measures for environmental information disclosure. And it's a trial version at first, but it finally comes into practice. It promotes voluntary environmental information disclosure by companies. And the next year in January, the State-Owned Assets Supervision and Administration Commission of the State Council released guiding suggestions on central enterprises fulfilling social responsibilities, which required central state-owned enterprises to establish a social responsibility reporting system and regularly just publish some reports on social responsibility or sustainable development overall. In May 2008, the Shanghai Stock Exchange issued the guidelines for the disclosure of environmental information by listed companies and also a notice on strengthening the social responsibility of listed companies. And this too notice requires listed companies to disclose significant environmental information. And in 2010 December, the Shenzhen Stock Exchange issued another notice on doing a good job in disclosure of annual reports by listed companies in 2010, requiring those listed companies included in the Shenzhen 100 index to disclose their social responsibility reports. And the policy development just continued until April 2022, when the China Security Regulatory Commission issued a revised version of the guidelines for investor relations of those listed companies, and further emphasizing the communication of ESG information between the companies and the investors. And in May of this year, which is 2023, the State-Owned Assets Supervision and Administration Commission of the State Council issued a work plan for improving the quality of central enterprises holding listed companies. It just explicitly states that the central enterprise group should actively participate in the construction of ESG information disclosure rules, ESG performance rating, and ESG investment guidelines with some more about Chinese characteristics. And this plan just aims to contribute in the development of ESG in China striving for full coverage of related special reports by 2023.
Yeah, from the aforementioned policy changes, it can be observed that China's ESG policy development has three distinct characteristics. Firstly, China's ESG policy initially focused on voluntary disclosure of environmental and social responsibility information by companies and gradually expanded the scope of mandatory disclosure. China's primary ESG policies initially revolved around voluntary disclosure on environmental and social responsibility information by companies. Starting from 2008, the Shanghai Stock Exchange required eligible listed companies to disclose environmental information and social responsibility reports. This marked the gradual transition from voluntary to combined voluntary and mandatory disclosure of environmental and social responsibility information. Simultaneously, the Hong Kong Stock Exchange, since 2012, began encouraging listed companies to disclose ESG reports with a shift to a comply or explain approach in 2015, significantly elevating ESG disclosure requirements for companies in Hong Kong. In recent years, ESG reports have gained more attention from regulatory bodies, and the scope of mandatory disclosure has continued to expand. Secondly, the formation of China's ESG policy is primarily guided by regulatory bodies, in contrast to the international emphasis on market-driven ESG policies. Regulatory bodies in China involved in ESG policy include the state-owned assets, supervisions, and administration commissions of the State Council, environmental agencies, the People's Bank of China, the China Security Regulatory Commission, and Stock Exchange, including Shanghai Stock Exchange and the Shenzhen Stock Exchange and the Hong Kong Stock Exchange as well. Throughout the development of China's ESG policy, regulatory bodies have played a crucial guiding role.
Yeah, that's perfectly correct. But so why has China placed such a strong emphasis on ESG over the past 2 decades?
So I think firstly, ESG information disclosure facilitates the construction of the domestic ESG market, aligning it better with international markets. ESG has become a mainstream investment strategy in international capital markets, with 92% of S&P 500 companies publishing ESG reports in 2021. ESG performance serves as the basis for investment evaluations, which necessitates comprehensive ESG information disclosure in the entire capital market. Standardized and comparable ESG information is crucial in providing investors with effective decision-making criteria, thereby enhancing resources allocation, investors' efficiency, expenditure, the development of domestic ESG market, and promoting integration within international investments.
Yeah, I think there's also another point important, which is that ESG information disclosure also help company attract investment and gain trust to capital markets. And because today we can tell that the financial indicators are no longer the sole criteria for evaluating companies, ESG performance is increasingly valued by investors and gradually incorporated into investment decision frameworks. And companies with poor ESG performance or those that do not disclose the ESG information are finding it increasingly difficult to secure a place on investment institution list. With ESG being explicitly included in investor relations management in April 2022, ESG disclosure has become a new prerequisite for companies to gain favor in the capital market.
So lastly, ESG information disclosure contributes to driving high-quality economic development and encourages companies to fulfill their social responsibility better. Information disclosure serves as an opportunity for companies to focus on their societal, environmental, and corporate governance impacts, actively promoting technological innovation, comprehensive social responsibility, and improved corporate governance in China. Under national strategies such as dual carbon and shared prosperity, ESG is set to become a necessary path for Chinese companies to achieve green transformation, create greater social value, and attain long-term stable growth.
Yeah, therefore, these factors collectively just compel the Chinese government to emphasize ESG, promoting sustainable development and enhancing corporate social responsibilities, and guiding the maturation of the domestic ESG market in alignment with international standards. And so thank you guys for watching our podcast and see you next time.